Hello lovely people, how are you all doing today? I hope you're well. I'm in the kitchen as you can see, and actually I'm just noticing there's some lovely afternoon light coming in. It's another lovely sunny day. I'm going to be cooking, but pretty much all of it is going to be in here, so I'd like to cook in the garden but without a fire in the garden, and I'm not going to start one. It's going to be in here, but we can enjoy the light at the same time. Now, I'm going to be cooking with the remains of the gorgeous mushrooms I bought at the old stables in Swanage, the little greengrocer deli, with the gorgeous gift voucher that Joanne and Ian gave to me. I actually went back and got a few chestnut mushrooms as well. I was thinking about, what do I want to cook with them? So many things came to mind. First thing that came to mind was a risotto. Mushroom risotto, gorgeous. But I thought, well, in terms of cooking with all of you, one of the recent videos, I can't get my brain's not working today. One of my more recent cooking videos was a risotto. That sun-dried tomato and red pepper one, so good. That's such a lovely recipe. So, you know, making a risotto, the principle is pretty much the same whichever veg or addition you're putting in. So I thought, no, I won't do a risotto. So then I was thinking about doing a really yummy sort of creamy pasta sauce. I think I might still do that at some point anyway, but the fact is I've got quite a few pasta sauces, sort of bolognese type sauces in the freezer, and I'm trying to run the freezer down in order to defrost it. So I thought, no, I won't do another pasta sauce because I've got plenty to keep me going. So I'm just going to go with a very simple, bog standard but gorgeous mushroom soup today, because in terms of running the freezer down, and I'm also going to be trying to have a no spend 3 weeks. I'm going to try and have 3 weeks without going to the shops. There might be the odd one or two bits and bobs here and there, but hopefully no more than a £5 each week. Use up the freezer. I've got plenty of main meals, but I think I'm down to, I've got 7 portions of soup left. So actually making this today, great. It should give me 4 portions of soup. So that'll do me a few lunches during these 3 weeks of hopefully not spending. Anyway, without further ado, let's do my favourite thing, and that is to look at the gorgeous ingredients. Really, really simple ingredients. Again, do I ever do anything with anything other than simple ingredients? A fly has just come in, that's annoying, I'll try and get rid of it. But anyway, we've got the stars of the show, the mushrooms. So I've got some of the lovely little chanterelle, just a few left. Some chestnut mushrooms, the giant oyster mushrooms, and the ceps if you are French, porcini if you're Italian, or penny buns if you're English. So I've got there's about 500 grams there, so I'm kind of eyeballing it rather than doing it by weight. As well as that, the usual culprits for starting the soup: 1 onion, and I've got 4 cloves of garlic there. They're quite small. This is my back garden grown garlic. They are small, but they're quite punchy, so that should be enough. I've got some stock powder. I'll make up half a litre of stock, some olive oil, and then the luxury ingredient is some creme fraiche. That's 200 grams, 200 mils. I didn't buy half fat on purpose. It's just that in that size, all that was available was the half fat. You don't have to add cream to this if you don't want to. It just makes it a little bit more, it's a bit of a luxury. So let's get underway. First of all, I need to get chopping. The onion and the garlic have been chopped. Not massively fine, small. Yeah, chopped small, and a glug of olive oil in the pan. Warm up. onions and garlic in. Just to saute, just, oh, my nose is itching again. Hang on, where's my hanky? Just to soften them. Soften them, let their juices start to come out, but not brown, so keep half an eye. So in the meantime, getting on with the last of the mushrooms, just slicing thin-ish, sort of like that, thin-ish. And I was just going to get to the chanterelles, and I suddenly thought, oh yeah, because I mentioned about using dried mushrooms, or that these may need reconstituting. They don't, they're fine. But if you are using dried mushrooms, I'll come on to dried mushrooms in a second, but if you're using them and you need to reconstitute them, just 20 minutes in some warm water, not boiling water. So if you boil the kettle to produce water for them to reconstitute in, let it cool down so that it's warm, not piping hot. And 20 minutes like that, 20 minutes in that water should do. Keep an eye on them though. By 20 minutes they should be done. Get them out. So with a slotted spoon or with a sieve, get the reconstituted mushrooms out, but keep the water they've been soaking in, because whether you're making a soup with them, a risotto, whatever it is, you can add that water to your stock. Wonderful. I say about keeping an eye on them at 20 minutes because what you don't want to end up with is really soggy, slimy mushrooms. Yeah, so too little time in the water, they're going to be tough and rubbery. Too long in the water, they're going to be slimy and gelatinous and horrible. So yeah, keep an eye on them around that sort of 15-20 minute mark. But dried mushrooms are fab. I'm sure loads of you use them. Fab for extra flavour for things, even if you're not doing a mushroom specific dish, just all the extra flavour they bring. Again, we're back to that umami. But what I love about dried mushrooms is, so often in our supermarkets, all that's on offer are the sort of not very appetising white bottom mushrooms, usually chestnut mushrooms, and portobello mushrooms, the open flat ones. Portobellos are just chestnut mushrooms which have carried on growing and got bigger and bigger, and they get bigger and flatter as they grow. So yeah, there's not a huge amount of choice in our supermarkets. But dried mushrooms, I think they're easier to find and buy these days. Certainly if you go into a health food shop, or like the deli where I bought these, they had dried mushrooms too. And like I said, I think supermarkets these days more and more are selling them. And they're great because they'll keep in your pantry for, I don't know, I mean this is a guess, but I'm going to say 6 months to a year. Obviously look at the actual packet. It might be that different manufacturers are recommending different times. But yeah, to have them in your pantry, and then if for whatever reason you can't get out to buy anything fresh, you've got something in the pantry that you can reconstitute and make into something yummy, like a risotto, a pasta sauce, a soup. Yay! And the point being, you're going to get more variety of mushrooms in a white, I was going to say defrosted, in these dehydrated dried mushrooms. They're usually wild. I don't know how wild they are, they might be cultivated, but in terms of variety, way more variety than we see in most of our supermarkets. I don't know, you might have a supermarket near you that does really fantastic, weird and wonderful mushrooms, lucky you, but for most of us it's pretty limited. And of course, I know there are probably some of you that go mushrooming yourself, you go and pick your own. How wonderful. Obviously, you have to know, you have to be absolutely 100% sure of what you're doing. I was speaking in comments with, was it Moon Spinners? She was talking about going mushrooming with her grandma. And I remember when I was a kid going mushrooming in the fields at the back of their house in Langton. We didn't have to go far for field mushrooms. And I just didn't pay enough attention. In the moment that I was with her, I was paying attention and picking and filling the basket. But I just don't have that that knowledge, that skill now as an adult. Maybe I should go on a mushrooming course and find out where the good mushrooming spots are, because yeah, to be able to pick one's own mushrooms, great, it's free. Right, that's then finished, the chopped anyway. I'm just going to go and check to see how the onion and garlic are doing, and hopefully I'm ready to start adding. Oh, and because I'm at that stage, I'm going to get my, oh no, I'll hang on with the stock, because I'm going to let these have a good 5 or 6 minutes. I'm thinking out loud, I'll stop doing that, I'll turn you all around and we'll reconvene at the pot. The onions and garlic, well, the onions ostensibly have nicely softened now, so they can be joined by a lot of mushrooms. They're going to take up a load of space in the pan, and then they're suddenly going to shrink to, like, there's nothing in there. So I'm going to let them cook. It's a fairly medium heat, a sort of gentle medium heat I've got them on. I'm going to let these cook now for 5-6 minutes or so. Look, you've all cooked with mushrooms before, you know what happens. A lot of that moisture comes out, they shrink, but all that moisture that comes out, I'm keeping it because it's a one pot cook, so I'm not going to lose any of it. I'm just going to let them release their lovely juices. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to interfere, prod, poke, anything. I will get on with getting the stock ready. When these have had 5 or 6 minutes, we'll come back. I'll show you what let me show you what they look like now, and then we'll have a before and after. This is our before shot. So that's all my lovely 4 different types of mushrooms all chopped up now in the pan, and we'll come back in 5 or 6 minutes and to see how they're looking after. And here's how they look after 5 minutes. Massively shrunk down, and I can feel from stirring it, that's what I was trying to say, from stirring it around, I can feel it's much more liquidy, smoother, and you can see, you might not be able to tell, but you can see a glossiness now to all the pieces of mushrooms where they're releasing their juices and picking up some of the oils from the onion and the olive oil. Okay, time to add, steam up the camera, time to add 500 mils of vegetable stock. Half litre of stock, in it goes. I was just thinking actually, you could probably make this fairly economically. I mean, I haven't bought dried wild mushrooms for ages. They're probably fantastically expensive, I'm not sure. But I was thinking, if you have a sort of a supermarket nearby, so it's not too much of an inconvenience, if you know what their yellow sticker times are, if it's sort of 7 in the evening, 8 in the evening, you know, when they're going around putting the yellow stickers on to reduce all the fresh stuff, you might be lucky enough to be able to, you know, pick up a punnet of portobellos, a punnet of chestnuts, whatever, so a couple of punnets. Jobs are good, and Bob's your uncle. You could make it for maybe I don't know, maybe £1 for the mushrooms, and then you've got an onion and some garlic. They're not too expensive, are they? Right, I'm going to let that very gently, I'm actually going to put the lid completely back on for now, because that's dropped the temperature a bit. I'm going to let it gently simmer for 7 or 8 minutes, that's all. It's quite a quick one today. Let it simmer, and then I'm going to blend it, not all of it, I'm going to blend some of it, let it cool, anyway, you'll see. Smells good. I've just finished blending it, but I actually held back a mug and a half unblended, so I get some of those lovely, lovely mushroom pieces in there. It really smells delicious. The only problem with mushroom soup is it doesn't look delicious, does it? It's always looks a bit browny grey. Now, at this point, it hasn't cooled down very much. I think I'm going to have a bowl full now without adding the creme fraiche. Because if I was adding the creme fraiche, I'd then want to gently reheat it. And what I'm thinking is, because a lot of this is going to go into the fridge, I'm then going to have a portion out of the fridge onto the stove to reheat it for my lunch for the next few days. I'll do the creme fraiche then. So for each individual portion, I'll grab maybe 1 or 2 tablespoons of the creme fraiche, splat it in, so that as the soup's warming up anyway from being in the fridge, the creme fraiche will combine. Yeah, I'm going to have it au naturel. So yeah, shall we scoff? Let's go and scoff. Yum. Oh, I can't wait to try it. Now, as I said, it's not the most attractive looking thing, is it, because of the grey-brown colour, but it smells delicious. And to have with it, I'm just going to have the crusts from that rye bread loaf. Right, let's get stuck in. Wow, I'm suddenly boiling. That was why it was so nice to do the other bit of prep outside the other day. Right. Wild mushroom soup. Oh my goodness, yes. Oh, yeah. It's lovely. It's mushroom soup. I think I'm certain there's more depth of flavour to it for having the variety of mushrooms. You know, in the past when I've made mushroom soup, it's with chestnuts and portobellos from the supermarket, because that's all there was. But having those extra varieties to chuck in, porcini, ceps, they're so fantastic because they've got a really good, strong, deep, nutty flavour. Oh my goodness. And in terms of, you know, blending it, it doesn't need the cream, by the way. Although I will have it with cream in the week. It's creme fraiche. Excuse me. By reserving that mug and a half unblended, it stops the soup becoming too thick. I mean, I don't mind if it's really, really thick, but what's lovely is having those little bits of mushrooms. Oh, each spoonful's got a surprise bit of mushroom on it. That's lovely. I will, you know, as and when finances allow, I will certainly be getting mushrooms from her again, from that shop, because yeah, it's just lovely to have that variety. As I was mentioning earlier, I haven't bought dried wild mushrooms for the longest time. I think going back before I started my channel. So that might be on one of those. I'm going to look at them and see. Well, firstly, see where they are around here. I know I can get them at the old stables. Have a look at prices, because it might be that kind of thing, as I mentioned again, to just have in the pantry is one of those. I don't know what to cook. I've got nothing fresh in. What can I do? Well, I pretty much always have risotto rice in my pantry. I always have pasta in my pantry, so either or, make something lovely. Right, I don't want to let this cool too much, so I'm going to say, First of all, I'm going to make noises. Yeah, happy getting on with things in your kitchens, happy mushroom foraging, if you know where to find them and if you are sure you can identify them, lucky you. But yeah, just have fun in the kitchens, in your kitchens. Every now and again, you know, if you see something, go to a fresh market or, you know, fresh produce market and think, I've never cooked with that. Sometimes it might be a question of what is it? So I used to love this at my Turkish supermarket. Sometimes I'd see something and I'd think, what is that? I don't know what it is. Ask the shopkeeper, ask them what it is. How do you think I should cook it? Also in my area, we used to have loads of sort of African/Caribbean supermarkets. So again, going into them, seeing a bit of produce, talk to the shopkeeper, ask what it is, how do you prepare it, what's their favourite way to have it, come home and create something for the first time ever in your kitchen. Right, I need to stop now, don't I? I'll see you all again really soon. I'm not sure for what, but I'll see you really soon. So until then, bon appetit, as Miss Child would say. What was it? Bon appetit! That bonkers voice she had. Oh, I love her. Until the next one, cheerio.